Hi, it's Jaden, and today we're going to review chapters 1 to 7, and I'm just going to ask some questions about this book. 1 to 7 is Mrs. Frisby and the Rats of NIMH, and so this book won a Newbery Award. It's by Robert Seelbreen, and this book, I really love this book. It's just a very good book, and I hope that you enjoy this book as much as I do. So, we start with Timothy being sick, and Timothy is very sick, and Mrs. Frisby. So Mrs. Frisby is sort of like the main character of the story, and she's a mouse, right? And her family is a mouse and all that. And Timothy is very sick. Right now it's winter in February, right? And where are they right now? Where are they? Where are they? So just describe their home, okay? But anyway, so Timothy was very sick, and what did he get? Like, what sickness did he get? Because, and this is actually from the chapter of Mr. Ages. So, who is Mr. Ages? And like I said before, what is the sickness that Timothy got? And yes, the answer is pneumonia. And pneumonia is actually sort of like spelled differently because it starts with a P and then there's an N. So the P is sort of silent. So that is pretty confusing. And if you speed read through it, then you probably wouldn't really get it. But anyway, so where does Mr. Ages live? And when was the last time Mrs. Frisby came to Mr. Ages? Okay, and also, how did Mrs. Frisby meet Jeremy? And what happened? And why? And what is Jeremy obsessed about? Or at least his friend, Jeremy mentioned that his friend was the one who was obsessed by shiny objects, and he just picked up some shiny objects. And what do you think Mrs. Frisby thinks of Jeremy? And also, would you like it if you were Mrs. Frisby and you were flying on a crow's back, or would you be too scared, or would you be a little, I don't know, or would you just faint? So what would you do? Also, Mr. Fitzgibbon, right? So the gardens that they live in, the rats not the rats, but the gardens that the mice live in. So it's Mr. Fitzgibbon's garden, and this is right now like a winter home. And so Mr. Fitzgibbon and his plow. So what happens about the plow, and when does moving day come? And what is moving day? And do you think that Timothy will be able to be in moving day? Also, why did the plowing get rescheduled for 5 days after? What happened? And also, so 5 days isn't a lot, right? And where was Mrs. Frisby hiding when she heard all this? Where did she hide? So she actually hid right over here in the fence post, and so she just came out, and who was sleeping? Who was there? And okay, so what was the cat's name? And also, And what do you think the rats were doing carrying that cable wire? I mean, like, what were they doing? What is it? And why didn't Dragon chase Mrs. Frisby? Why don't you just come up with just a theory? Why don't you think that Dragon didn't chase Mrs. Frisby? And also, right, I actually forgot to mention about the food, right? Where did Mrs. Frisby find all the grains of corn and the other kinds of food? Where did she find it? We have to go back in the chapters though. So, yeah. So once you find that, then we can continue on. The next chapter, so what happens after that is that she asks Jeremy about the owl and all that, right? And so about the owl, what does the owl do, and where does the owl live? And also, sometimes I can forget to mention it, but what did Mr. Aegis give Mrs. Frisby to help Timothy? What did he give her? Okay, now back to where we were. So, and when they get there, and do you think that, Jeremy liked Mrs. Frisby? And also, of course he likes Mrs. Frisby, but do you think that, I don't know, because do you think that Jeremy thinks of Mrs. Frisby as a friend or someone he just owes his life to? And also, the owl, right? What does the owl say when Mrs. Frisby says that she's Mrs. Frisby? It's getting a little mysterious now, right? And when they come back, the crow and Mrs. Frisby, when they were going there, they saw actually a stream, and Mrs. Frisby was like, "What was that?" So. What? And if you had never seen a stream, do you think that you would have been amazed to see a stream? What would you think about that? And now, so the rats of NIMH, so you basically know the rats, right? So remember, and they were carrying a cable wire, so that means that they were doing something important and the rats are coming in. So now it's getting very mysterious, and they're suddenly go to the rats. The owl says about there's something about Jonathan Frisby. Everything is suddenly like a mystery, a huge question mark. It's getting very exciting in the book, a little tense, and it's and you can't wait for the next chapter, right? Because it's so exciting and tense, and you really want to read on. And this actually is why I really like this book. It's it just makes it very intriguing, and you keep on reading on. So you're let's just say you start at the book and you're and something feels interesting, and you're flipping through the book, and then you're done just so quickly, because the book gets a lot more interesting from now on. It's you're gonna really love the book. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but you are gonna really fall in love with this book, and I just wish that you really enjoy this book, and also you're gonna enjoy this book with me, because I'm gonna ask you questions and you're gonna answer, and it's gonna be a lot more fun. So I just hope you enjoy this book, and by the time you finish this, you'll really, really, really love this book. And I did say that a million times, but I'm gonna say it one more time. You really like this book by the time you finish it. Also, if you want, there's also a cartoon version of it. It's a cartoon movie, and I've never watched it, but I have watched a clip, And it does seem a little fun, so if you want, you can also read you can watch that. It's a little different from the book though, okay? Anyway, have a great time enjoying the book, and let's see you in the next video.